got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. When the road rough ahead and you're miles and miles from your nice warm bed, you just remember what you did past. You got a friend in me.
You've got a friend in me.
That was good.
So much better.
That was good.
Like a Greek god.
Like Thor. They smell like what Thor looks like. Beautiful.
What does
All
it
right.
look like without it?
Ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, I am Brady, Fat Thor, the toothpick meningitis and lunchbox Pieper. And I'm joined for oh God, it's been so long. Can you guys remember the last time I did a podcast?
No.
6 months ago.
Well, it feels like it.
No, it's like 3 months ago.
Give or take a week or two.
Give or take a week or two. Well,
No, at the beginning of this month.
Well, some of you may know me. This is my YouTube channel titled Pieper Productions because I produce things and my last name's Pieper. I am joined by...
This is like the most awkward reintroduction I've ever had.
I know. I don't know how to do it. Oh, my God. I don't know how to feel.
It's like riding a bike, dude. You got this.
I don't know how to ride a bike.
You don't know how to ride a bike?
No, don't make fun of me.
Do you know how to swim?
I know how to swim. I love swimming.
Okay, well, there you go. See? You got 1 and 2. It's covered. It's fine.
You missed 2 and 2. You lost the Childhood Olympics.
Fair.
Oh
All right.
my God.
Well, I'm joined by. Go ahead, Tristan. Introduce yourself.
I'm Tristan Swan. Yep.
Miss MLB.
Sure, we'll go by Miss MLB. That's my sport. I don't know what else I should say. Because I'm usually never on this side of the room. I'm usually on the other side.
It's really weird being on this side of the room. I can speak from experience.
It used to be like this all the time when we actually recorded together. Like,
I know. Whose fault is that?
sorry, I have to have an internship.
I'll defend you. I've only ever been on this side of the room, so it feels totally normal, Brady.
Well, thanks, Brendan. Well, we're
Which
gonna talk.
Brendan? Which Brendan? Because that's important. I want the
Well,
credit.
we didn't
here.
introduce each other, Tristan.
Oh, let me introduce the other Brendan. This is Radio Brendan, as we call him here.
Raise your hand. We're on camera.
Oh, we're on camera. Hi. I am texting my mother right now. So.
Oh, my mom will probably call at some point.
Put her on air. Hi, Mom.
I have in the past.
He has. His mom is a joy.
She's great. She's great.
She's so caring and adorable.
Must
It's
be
funny.
nice.
All right. Well, the guy in the center back over there, he is Brendan Huff, host of. Oh my God, what's your podcast name?
Off the
Baller
dribble.
Talk.
Baller Talk. No, off
Off
the
the
dribble.
dribble.
Off the dribble.
And
Off the
on
dribble.
hiatus, our podcast together, In Between the Lines.
In between the lines.
Yeah.
Between the Lions.
What?
Wow.
Nobody remembers that show?
Wow.
Nobody
No.
remembers Between the Lions?
I do.
The Lions
PBS?
or Lines?
Yeah, the Lions.
Like
Oh,
you're,
no.
Brendan, you're not the oldest one in these rooms, but somehow you pulled out a reference that nobody got.
I don't know.
I know what he's talking about.
All right, see, you got me.
I
You
know
got
what he's
me.
talking about.
There we go.
I
Okay,
know.
well.
Well, the guy that just gave up the horrible reference, his name
come
is
on.
Brendan Menchef.
Minchef.
Say it right.
What?
Brendan Minchef.
Thank you.
Brendan is the GM of all television of the Met.
all television operations here at Met Media, but yeah, we'll just put
Wow.
it that way.
He does television things.
What a great introduction. I had to introduce myself and didn't know what to say. So.
He started it for me, but yeah, I do TV a little bit along with Tristan, and
Yeah.
we love what we do. So
Sure.
I also do TV. Hire me.
Brady was just Fat Thor on our newscast today. So if you
Brady Fat Thor
haven't
Piper?
seen it yet, mymetmedia.com.
I'm still in costume, because why not?
Wow.
Dude, I'm going to throw highlights in.
Throw some highlights in there. Let's see it.
Boom. Boom.
My vote.
Right here, watch
My
it,
vote.
go.
My vote.
Check it out.
Well, we're
Right
gonna
here?
We'll have some editing there.
Moving on, because I'm like the only outlier here. So yeah.
Hey, anytime you want to be on TV, let me know.
I got
I'll make
you.
it happen.
I appreciate that.
Can you do weather next week?
No. No.
You can do weather. Trust
can
me.
you
Weather
do
in
this this year?
Spanish.
Can you do it this year?
Oh, my God.
Well, we're gonna talk spots because that's what my channel is. Well, it's not.
Sort
we're
of.
gonna talk spots, okay? Spots balls.
Because we pretend we're smart, but all we really know is sports.
Right.
So.
I think you know
I
a lot
have
more
big
about sports.
words.
But
So
you can definitely tell it's been a while for you.
God, dude,
We're here to help you. Just tell us what you need.
I got you, man. I'm the one who's been doing this every week.
Facts.
Okay, come on. That's just throwing shade.
It's a fact, though.
He's just by himself. It's okay.
All right.
All right, you Darvish, chill it. It's good.
Wow, I got that.
Yeah,
Hey.
there you go.
So we're going to talk about two sports that just started. The two sports that just started, hockey, NHL, and then we have basketball in the NBA.
Yay!
Who
I know
said yay?
nothing.
Who said yay? That guy said yay.
Can we talk some cricket today, too, while we're here?
Oh, while we're talking
Wait,
about
why do you
it,
know about cricket?
I don't. I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay.
So which one do you guys want
European.
to start with? We'll take a vote.
Cricket.
Cricket it is. Let's
It's
Google
European.
search our information.
It is
Daily
European.
crickets.
It is European baseball.
Let's talk about the one we know the least about.
Ooh, there's fantasy cricket at telegraph.co.uk.
Of course there is.
So that's
Nerd.
all. That's all the time we have for cricket.
Ooh, okay. So we're gonna do another little side tangent here.
Side tangent.
Brendan Minchef,
Okay.
his fantasy team in the Met Media
Oh, my
League
God, yes.
is
you winning?
all Dolphins. I'll take a
No.
screenshot of this. I'll put a screenshot
right.
of this and I'll put it on the in the video.
Can I tell the story real fast? I know what
Go
you're gonna
for
say.
it.
Yeah, so we in the office had a Met Media fantasy draft back in August, and I was really happy with the players I got, but I couldn't ever beat anybody. Like I didn't win a single game, and by like the fourth week, I just gave up. I'm like, I'm done. I'm gonna sign all Dolphins players because I'm done. I don't want to think about it anymore. Lo and behold, last week, starting all Dolphins and Ryan Fitzpatrick on the Dolphins, I actually won. I only scored like 76 points or something, but my opponent only got like 48. So as bad as the Dolphins were, and they're still winless, they will win you a fantasy matchup. So
And believe it or not,
all right.
Brendan is not the worst player in the league. He has a better record than one player that's trying. No offense to Isaac.
he's trying too hard. That's all I gotta
yeah,
say.
it really comes down to that in fantasy sports. If you try too hard, you might lose.
Just sign Dolphins and Fitzpatrick, and you never know.
Just
it's-
sign your
never know.
favorite team, and then just see what happens. Literally.
Yeah, it helps when your team's the Patriots.
Hey, I had like 3 Patriots, including Tom Brady, and I still lost every week. So,
When you dropped them all, I picked them all up.
well, good for you. But I actually won with Fitzpatrick. So,
That's fair.
Bravo.
All right. Well, which one do you guys want to start with? Not cricket.
It was a joke.
All right. Raise your hands for hockey.
I mean, I can talk both, so it doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter to me.
Alright,
You're the host. You
alright.
pick.
We gonna talk some NBA.
NBA.
My
NBA
dude.
season kicks off. What, 2 nights ago? We're recording on
Wednesday.
We record on Wednesday.
2 nights ago, basically.
It was so much fun. It kicks off with Lakers Clippers and what was the other feature game that night?
I think it was Bucks Rockets.
Bucks Rockets. It was fun.
Well,
I loved them. I thought it was competitive, especially seeing the Clippers play. It's so nice seeing the Clippers play. Even without Paul George, they still ended up winning the game in kind of convincing fashion against a Lakers team that isn't full strength, granted.
Well, neither
but-
are the Clippers though, because they're down one Paul George.
Yeah, but I
Well-
mean, they still had their. Essentially, they don't have Paul George. Clippers
Yeah.
didn't have Paul George, but they had their healthy bench.
But they have more depth though.
Hey.
So they're
Exactly.
depth on the bench is important.
So they have more depth though. So that's why Kawhi has no problem carrying on until at least they're saying Paul George is going to be back sometime next month. So pretty soon.
It's still depressing. I wanted to see that, first night matchup, Paul George, Kawhi, Anthony Davis, LeBron James. Didn't end up the way we wanted it to in the sense of matchup, but the game itself was interesting and fun to watch.
It ended up in the way that I wanted the Clippers to win. So hey,
I'm
they-
totally happy with it. The only thing that I'm not crazy about is that you've got so many brainwashed Faker fans that
fair
were
weather fans.
that were at that game because I didn't catch the beginning, like the opening of the game, but when Kawhi was giving like his opening night speech, he got like rained down with a whole bunch of boos from a bunch of Faker fans.
Wow.
Which I think kind of pisses me off, to be frankly honest. You'll cheer the guy from Akron who came to your city to play for you, but you won't cheer the hometown kid.
But he is biased because he's a Clippers fan. So,
Oh, well.
Oh, okay. Excuse us.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. Wow. Okay.
I mean, you just got to take everything with a grain of salt, right?
I mean,
Yeah.
I do, but and I'm just saying, just that fact alone, when you think about it, it's a little. It doesn't make any sense.
No,
still.
I agree. I agree.
It doesn't make any sense because I hate I'm hoping by the time Paul George comes back that hopefully that changes in some kind of way, but just for that to be your opening night on your court, I'm not going to say in your building yet, but that was just really insulting to me.
Can we talk about the Kawhi trailer of the Terminator? This is so related to basketball. Like, that is the funniest trailer I've seen this entire, like, movie season.
Dude's a cyborg, man.
Yeah. Just the laugh alone makes that entire trailer.
That laugh is going to be a meme for quite some time.
I can't even do it. Like,
I love Kawhi. I think Kawhi is one of the funniest, unfunny dudes on the planet. Like,
yeah, I think it's like
just something about him.
I think he doesn't try to be funny. I think it's just him naturally.
Well, no, he doesn't try to be funny because you've seen,
Like, he's just a naturally awkward person. That's what makes it funny.
I won't say naturally awkward. He's just naturally reserved. He's just naturally reserved because whereas I think that's the difference between him and to a very probably lesser degree difference between him and Paul George. Well, Paul George will have a group hug with everybody. Kawhi will just shake your hand. So I kind of think that's the difference. I think one reason, and I'm going to go back to this, I think one reason why the Faker fans kind of booed Kawhi, besides the fact that, fake number 23, besides that the fact, I think it's because they're sour that Kawhi chose relatively, I'll say, I don't know, some people say Clippers are the little brother, and some people say they're the step brother. It kind of depends. But I also think some people are sour because Ty Lue is the assistant coach to Doc Rivers, and he's not assisting Frank, whatever his name is. Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah. I don't remember Frank Vogel. The only person on that staff I remember is Jason Kidd. So
For good reason.
fair.
For a good reason.
Let me ask you guys this: how many you guys watched some of the games or like heard of some of the games? Saw some of the stats going.
I watched all of them.
I did too.
Oh. I had work to do.
I was doing homework, so.
Yeah.
Gosh. What dedicated sports fans are you?
You can listen.
Fail your classes
No,
like real sports
I
fans.
listened to the game. I didn't watch the game. It's different.
Well, that's fair. Well,
Seriously?
of all the games that you've observed, of all the games that you've heard about, have seen, have listened to, what's kind of been a dud for you guys? A team or a player? What's really a dud?
A dud as in a flop?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'll let Tristan go first.
I don't have one yet. Let me think.
Well, I'll go. Boston 76ers was horrible to watch. I'm a huge Boston fan, so I watched.
Really,
Boston
Tom Brady?
games. Shut your damn mouth.
He should have been Tom Brady today.
I should have been. I had a jersey and everything.
I mean, your Fat Thor costume, though, was A+. So.
I gotta
Put
show
a
a
picture
I gotta show
right
a picture.
here.
I'll take a screenshot from the actual broadcast.
Yeah, do it. Yeah.
Throw it on.
Yeah.
It makes sense, but you also could be retired Tom Brady.
What?
I probably could be.
Retired Tom Brady
better
as
than me.
Fat
You mean
Thor.
Tom Brady with the Titans next year? That's another story.
Oh, it's an NFL story for another time.
But no, I agree that the Boston Philly game was extremely disappointing.
Well,
Well,
so here's the thing.
Good
The
reason why.
76ers are an unbelievably
Big
team. Like, they have just fucking tall people. Like, a lot of them, too. The Celtics are an unbelievably short team. Their tallest player is, like, I think after the new height measurements where they do it without shoes,
7.
their tallest person is, like, 6'9.5".
Oh yeah, he's not on the roster.
I think it's Enos Cancer.
Yeah, it's Canner.
I was
but-
thinking, what's his face?
Oh, wait, no, it might
Taco.
be Vincent Poirier. But
Yeah,
whatever.
Taco's not on that roster.
Aside
is
from
he?
the point, well, he was on the G League roster,
Yeah.
45-day contract. You know, the fun stuff. But it was.
I
think
think
Boston's gonna do horrible this year. I think Toronto's gonna do a lot better.
I think
which is weird.
it's a bad sign when you lose someone with the loyalty and the professionalism of Al Horford.
True.
When you lose someone who doesn't ask for very much but does a lot, that says something. Although on the other side, I think it also says something from the Philly side when you lose that man named Jimmy Buckets.
Oof,
True.
Yeah, I mean, it's a different player that they got for really the same type of money. You think Jimmy Buckets? He goes.
And while
to,
we're tying it all together, can you explain to me why the hell Terry Rozier is in Charlotte?
Yeah, I will. I mean, so
That doesn't make any sense to me.
This offseason was
Hey,
crazy.
you gotta
have
fill
Miami.
holes.
And Miami has like nobody except for Jimmy Butler anymore.
Pretty
and
much.
then Terry
Sucks.
Rozier leaves the Celtics to go to Charlotte.
The Hornets.
That's gross. And then Kemba shoots like 4 for 18 from the field in his debut. Kyrie goes off for 50 in game 1. What
In a
happened?
loss. And an overtime
and,
loss.
And an L.
Oh, wow.
There's a big,
That
big difference.
sucks.
So he served a hot L.
Well, you got big gaps to fill, and then you don't fill those gaps, and you flop. So the entire offseason, in a whole sense, was kind of a dud.
I'm gonna say this though about the Brooklyn Nets. I'm gonna say this. I'm going to give for them. Honestly, this is more of a honeymoon period for them because they're also down 1 7-footer. So.
Yeah.
That's true.
So this is more of a honeymoon period for them because I'm not going to judge them in any way until relatively 7 feet, yes. But I'm not going to judge them because I think they're going to be entertaining to watch, but I wouldn't put too much stock into them until KD comes back next year.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the thing. I mean, one team that I guess kind of overranked going into the season was Golden State.
Yeah, everyone
they're saying
did.
Klay Thompson's not coming back this season, which sucks because I wanted to see the
I
triple-headed guard monster. That
I
would be.
don't buy that for a second. I don't buy that he's going to be out for the entire season.
No,
I still think he will.
I think he will. Yeah.
He had an ACL injury, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
ACL takes
6
about
to 8
6
months.
to 8 months. So that's
Yeah.
the entire season itself.
I don't buy it.
He'll be back for the finals.
Well, here's the thing.
I
I want
He
to
walks
see.
on with
Yeah,
crutches.
exactly.
I don't buy it. I think he'll at least be ready by sometime in the playoffs. But I don't buy he's out for the entire season.
That's if they make
ACL
the
tear,
playoffs.
right? He has an
That's-
ACL tear, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
And then
you-
the thing is, that's
a
if they
long-term
make the
injury.
playoffs. I would love to see Steph Curry, D'Angelo Russell, and Klay Thompson all playing together because that's like the coldest lineup of guards there is.
Well, thing is, here's a couple notes about the Warriors.
Speaking as a Warriors fan here, he is.
Well, my boy is out, so I can't say much. But I think this year, and I talked about this on my show earlier, they're basically restarting. Because you lost KD, you lost Iguodala, and Iguodala might be either a Clipper or a Laker. We don't know yet. And you got Steph, you got D'Angelo, you got Draymond, you got Willie Cauley-Stein, which I think is going to be he's underrated now. And then you got a bunch of G League players. So honestly, I think this is actually a position that makes sense for the Warriors to be in because now it's not going to be the Warriors and whoever comes out of the East. It's going to be probably either one of the teams from LA and whoever comes out of the East.
That's true. I kind of
Probably
like
the
it.
76ers.
Probably Philly. I think it might be. I think it'd be Philly, Boston in the conference finals.
No Toronto at all?
Not anymore.
Well, I mean, they lost Kawhi. They signed a max extension to Pascal Siakam, who I really do enjoy. I think he's a good player. But, with the rumors flying around, they might trade Kyle Lowry. That team, they have like Fred VanVleet starting. It's like Fred VanVleet, Kyle Lowry, Pascal
They're doing
Siakam,
great.
Marcus Saul, and then somebody else.
They're doing great.
I think for Freddie V though, I mean, you're good either way, whether he goes as a starter or a reserve. I just think back when they had Kawhi going through the playoffs, he was way better as a kind of coming off the bench kind of person.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, I think Toronto, you won a championship. There's really nothing else left for you to do.
Yeah, I mean,
Just relocate.
Okay, well, that
Like
would
I
solve it
don't
all.
know what that means. Like there's nothing left for you to do.
I mean, there's
Relocate.
there's nothing left for you to prove. You did the one thing that you
Well-
haven't been able to accomplish in years.
You know what they could do is like a bomb the entire season and then get a really good draft pick. And then maybe they might rebuild around that draft pick.
But I do think if they are going,
firstly,
go for it.
the draft pick of the future, LaMelo Ball.
Oh wow.
LaMelo goes to Toronto. Continue.
Imagine that.
Well, it might be good for him. Further away he is from his dad, the better. But
Hashtag Lonzo.
I think Lonzo's going to be. I think he's going to be really fun to watch in New Orleans.
Okay, to be honest, I always like Lonzo. He's like a pretty decent
I think-
player.
I think
it's just
he's-
like his dad was just too.
I think he's going to be.
overpowering.
Well, yeah, his dad was pretty overbearing because honestly, and I hate to say this about him, but my favorite comment that Dad made before Lonzo got drafted is when he compared him to Steph Curry. That was
And then
that.
shot like 20% on the season.
Yeah, because you knew back then. Then I'll go back to the Pelicans, but you knew back then. Every time his dad compared him to someone that was currently playing, that player is watching. You compared him to Steph Curry ate him for breakfast. You compared him to, I think it was it Pat Beverly gave him problems when they faced off. I think that
Pat Bev gives everybody problems. He's Pat Bev.
Yeah,
he's
for real.
a pit bull, man. He's a pit bull.
He wears black Air Force Ones. I mean, I would
Mamba.
He's a pit bull, man.
Mamba more. Be scared. Pat Bev's one of the few players in the league that I would never want to play.
No.
Like, I can't dribble, so like the second I like drop the ball, he's already down the court. Like what? Whatever.
Well, they did him and Kawhi and a few other people. I think Lonzo was there, Kyrie was there. They did train at the Mamba Academy during the offseason.
Did they?
Hmm?
Wow. Well, okay. So, let me ask you about this. Luka Doncic. He rookie of the year. He's the reigning rookie of the year. Not going to win it. He's not
Baby
going to win it in his
unicorn.
second year like Ben Simmons.
He's a baby unicorn.
He is. I love Luka. I love Luka because like he looks like me a little bit. But
we're not going to get into that. You don't want to get into that.
him and Kristaps in their first 2 games this season have looked really, really good.
They look.
It's the future. That's all I'm saying.
They look like they're gelling quicker. I'm not going to say they're completely in sync, but they're gelling much quicker than some people give them credit for.
Agreed.
Okay, Brady, he just
Sorry,
disappeared.
I'm trying to like plug something in. So,
What has
Issues happening over there. Right
what hasn't gone wrong since we started this?
dude,
That's not even-
Tristan almost died.
I got electrocuted. Like, no joke.
She got electrocuted. The light in here is broken. And then like what happened to you guys? Something bad happened, right?
Our
No, not
show
really.
in the beginning didn't even work. So that's
My
fine.
feelings.
That's
hurt.
true. Our newscast did crash.
Yeah.
So
Dude, it's the
the Halloween spirits, you know.
it's the Tivoli ghosts. Go check out my story at mymetmedia.
It is almost Dia de los Muertos. So, you
Also,
know,
just check
spirits
out
are coming
mine.
back.
Espanol.
Continuing on.
So, are there any other, concluding thoughts? Any other things that you guys have that you want to talk
MVP
about?
race. Who do you think is in the MVP? Because right now people still think our very own hometown guy, Jokic, is going to be at the top.
It's going to be hard for Jokic to.
He-
it's hard for him to put
he-
up the season he had last year.
He's going to be in the running again.
Yeah.
I will say that.
I disagree. I think he's going to take a little step down. I mean, he's young. Don't get me wrong. There's still a lot of room for development, but I think he's going to take a step down. He had a really, really good year last year, but I don't think he can maintain that. MVP, I could see James Harden. I could see maybe Giannis. Probably not Giannis.
Well,
this
I
year.
mean, you got to also take in consideration with all the duos that we have now. You got a good chunk of them that, since they play together, they're going to be taking votes away from one another when they play.
Oh, that is
Exactly. So
true.
you have to think in the
He's
sense
a lone
of
player, per
He-
se.
if you think in the sense of James Harden, he has a playmaker next to him.
Westbrook.
Like last year, he had Chris Paul. Of course, injuries kind of derailed that. But, if you have a playmaker next to you, then that really, really helps your chances of doing it, even though both of them have a history of being ball hogs or been called ball hogs. I think Giannis is really the only one that doesn't have a duo. We have Chris Middleton.
Yeah, he has Chris Middleton. Which I think, I mean, it's not the idea step in for losing Brogdon, but it's actually not a bad keep.
Yeah.
Now staying on this, the Nuggets are projected to be first in the national.
In the National
West-
In the National League.
What's the
That would
game?
be something.
In the Western Conference.
Wow.
Sorry.
Were we thinking baseball?
Woo, yeah, I was. for a second.
That's not even our topic
Does
today.
that even surprise you that I would think baseball? No.
When did the NBA get a National League?
I don't know. The Nuggets are projected to be.
So wait, does
first in
that mean the only
Western
international league we're going to have is
Sorry.
Toronto?
The National League is China.
it's gonna be Toronto and China, then everybody else here.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is incredibly one-sided.
We're all one team.
That's gonna be a really depressing All-Star game.
China's gonna kick our butts. So.
Not unless Yao Ming comes out of retirement.
All right. Well,
Swatted.
Back on course, Tristan. Yeah.
El Presidente. Who's your guess? Who's your MVP?
So I don't really watch that much basketball, so I'm just gonna throw a name out there.
Traitor.
LeBron James. Like,
All right. LeBron.
You,
that's all I got.
you
That's
can
fair.
traitor.
He's like-
I know.
We're done here.
I'm
Tri-Stone.
happy to sit in and listen, but honestly, like basketball.
It's fair because
Yeah.
the other Brendan's going to be exact same for hockey.
So I grew up in Orlando.
fair.
I
That's
lived in
true.
Orlando for the first 13 years of my life, and except for like 1 year when they made it to the finals, they were a terrible team. So I never really paid that much attention
True.
to basketball.
That's fair. Well, Tri-Stone Swam.
Trace Dillon.
I mean, I
Tristy
brought it
old
up, and
Swan.
I think Jokic
Tristan.
might.
You think Jokic?
Yeah.
What about you, Brendan Hefster in the back?
Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, he's probably gonna, he's gonna be
But
like
it-
Kawhi. Stan,
Here's the
someone.
thing. If you're going to say that duos are going to take votes away from each other,
Well, the only one that I can think of where it's not going to be too much of a case is in Golden State. I
Can
don't
you go any
see-
higher there?
I don't see because without Clay, I don't see there being that much.
So you're saying Steph's gonna
voted
take it?
okay.
I think with Steph being pretty much the only remaining one, pretty much there, I think he can go back and do it.
Even if they
Okay.
don't make the playoffs. So
I'm just glad that they're not gonna make the playoffs.
I'm just
We're assuming.
I'm not
We're saying this
assuming.
literally one game into the season. We're like,
I'm not
Yeah, they're
even
not gonna make it.
I'm
They
not
probably will.
I'm not even gonna say that because I can see them being a 7 or 8.
that's
okay,
fair.
that's fair.
I can see them being I can see them being a 7 or 8.
I can see him being the 7th or 8th pick in the draft. As well.
I can. Okay, smart. I can be them being a 7th or 8th seed. I can see the Clippers being a 3 seed, and the Lakers being a 4 seed.
Wow, he didn't even put the Nuggets in there at all.
I see the
Nuggets are what? One?
I see the Nuggets being maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's
Okay.
the first time he's ever really been on the Nuggets bandwagon.
So if Nuggets are 1 or 2, who's the other 1 or 2?
That's a toss up.
Houston.
Houston?
I mean, I can see
true.
Houston because I think by that time Harden and Westbrook will be
Ready to choke?
no.
Facts.
Because I think Westbrook's a step up from CP, so I think that'll help.
It's just showboat basketball.
Speaking of CP, does the Thunder make the playoffs?
No.
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 He's like,
no,
well, my team is done here.
no.
They're
no.
watching the playoffs from their house. That's about as close as they're going to get.
And CP, I think CP could end up staying and just playing out the season, but I do think I think they will probably move Steven Adams at some point.
I think they
Well,
should them.
So, game 1 for Boston, Gordon Hayward did really, really well, 25 points starting. That's a great, great return to form, hopefully for the rest of the season. But if he does do that, it makes him really, really good trade bait for them to get a big man like Steven Adams onto the team where they can have Enes Kanter and Steven Adams. That's something that 2K always does. It's always Gordon Hayward for Steven Adams.
I think Hayward, what he needs to do, because I think he still hasn't mentally recovered from that injury that he suffered that opening night. I think what he needs to do is, especially now with Kemba being his point guard, I can see Hayward probably returning to some form of what he was in Utah.
I hope so.
I can see that.
I hope
Speaking
so.
of Utah, Mormon country.
I thought that was your sole thing. Like, speaking of Utah, they're Mormons? Did you know?
Speaking of
What?
Speaking of Utah, I was not a big fan of the whole Mike Conley.
Oh,
transaction.
It's
yeah,
whatever,
it is
man.
what it is, man.
I wasn't a big fan of that. I thought he could have gone somewhere way better. No respect to Donovan Mitchell because he is definitely still one of my favorite. He was one of my favorite rookies, so no doubt.
All right.
But
Jesus, we've been running for 32 minutes. I
He's like,
have
I've
done a
never,
horrible job moderating the first time coming back.
well, for someone who's been gone for a while, 32 minutes sounds like a long time.
We haven't even talked hockey.
I think you're doing great, Brady. You're doing great.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome.
You're so nice, so nice.
So
Now, if
nice.
only I could do it live on television.
You'll get there.
There's a weird connection between you two right there. It was like a romance happening.
Could we just look at each other intently in our eyes?
Awkward.
All right.
I'm not sure what just happened there, but we might need to edit that out.
Oh, you got to see the edit for it. All I'm doing is going back and forth with the cameras, and I'll
Cutting
zoom
me
in on your face and be mine. Like, ah.
He'll add in
Um,
some spicy music in there. You know?
That's
That's what I was doing.
That's great.
Well,
Okay,
since
enough
we-
with Lady in the Tramp. Move on.
we got 2 sports. So the other Brendan in the back there, raise your hand.
Why?
He does not follow hockey at all.
We can talk about soccer instead. MLS playoffs are going on to conference
So
finals
none
now,
of us
so-
watch soccer here.
I do.
I know. I was like about to look at you both and be like, what is happening? Like,
I'm taking over. We're talking soccer.
Well,
Okay.
we can talk about flags. I'm Derek Brecken.
Oh, you're plugging our new podcast. Be sure to check out mymetmedia.com. In the coming weeks, we're going to start a show, Derek Brecken and I. It's going to be called What the Flag, or
Wow.
WTF. And we're going to teach you all about a special flag every week. So stay tuned. It's
I
gonna
got
be
the
fun.
strangest feeling of deja vu now when you said WTF.
yeah. Same.
Yeah, that's what we were going to call our podcast, but y'all are, being slow on it, so we took it.
Oh,
We took it.
excuse the hell out of us. Okay.
Yeah, we took it.
Wait, what? You guys are going to go, what the football?
That's another story, Brady. Let's move on.
NHL NHL hockey.
Good job.
NHL.
Hockey,
So
eh?
I'm so excited, man.
So excited.
I'm so excited.
So
We're
excited.
back to hockey. The Colorado Avalanche start the season off
Boo.
7-1-1. We have Tampa Bay look
Takes
like
his headset off.
they're just butt cheeks. Tampa Bay's butt cheeks. Toronto's butt cheeks.
What are you talking
Ottawa
about?
is okay, which is weird. The Sabres and the Coyotes are doing way better than ever.
You sound like you're from Minnesota.
It's close enough to Canada.
Can I just make a comment here? If you're saying the Coyotes are doing better than ever, and yet they're the first team out of the West, Toronto is the first team out of the East. So you're trashing Toronto for being first team out,
Oh, shade.
and not Arizona.
Because
Ooh.
Arizona has been bottom feeders. The Toronto Maple Leafs had signed massive contracts to like 7 people in the past 4 years. All of them have not really panned out for much playoff success. The Coyotes, they traded for Phil Kessel. Like, that's the biggest move the Coyotes
Yeah.
have made in the past,
Yeah.
5 years.
Yeah.
It's like
I
like
love
you
with that.
see.
Even without my headphones, I can still hear you screaming through the glass.
Can you? Can you?
Yeah.
All I'm saying is the Coyotes
Is that you're biased
are,
to Western teams? It's fine.
No. I'm saying the Coyotes are
Nothing wrong
like
with
the short kid that can't play basketball, the short kid,
Hey.
the skinny kid that can't play sports. All I'm saying,
Hey, I
the
was that
Coyotes are
kid.
like, go out there, Make-A-Wish kid, and they're like the Make-A-Wish team.
Excuse
and I'm
me.
so happy.
I was that kid, so whatever. Whatever.
You're the Coyotes?
Yeah. I was the underdog. Whatever. You know?
That's fine. That's fine.
Good position to be in.
But like the Coyotes,
Dropping
I
dimes.
feel like they're 5-3-1. It's a decent season for them. The Maple Leafs are 5-4-2. So technically,
How
the
about them
Leafs suck.
Avs, though?
Maybe,
about them Avs?
Maybe we should also talk about that we're only like 11 games into the season, so
Into an 82-game season.
yeah. So
I mean,
let's not
that's
put
like
too
an
much.
eighth of the way.
Yeah,
That's an
let's
eighth
not
of the
put
way.
too much into standings at this point. Because I'll remind everybody that the St. Louis Blues were the worst team in the league at the All-Star break last year, and who won the Stanley Cup in June? So
Oh, that is true. Underdogs. We love a
Underdogs.
good underdog story.
And speaking of underdog stories, the Colorado Avalanche are the top of the league.
is that an underdog? I don't
Wow,
think that's an
that's
underdog
not an
story.
underdog. We knew they were going to
The team that almost made it to the conference final last year. I don't think that's an underdog.
Whew, just because San Jose had they gave up they scored, what was it, 3 goals on a 5-minute power play against the Knights in the first
Knights,
round
yeah.
last year.
I was watching that game and I couldn't believe it, to be honest with you.
Well,
I've
like,
never seen that before.
Have you ever had a feeling?
crazy.
You ever had a feeling in a sports game when something's gonna happen? You're like, I just feel like some sort of magic, some sort of bullshittery is just gonna fucking transcend itself on this game.
I'll tell you.
Every Lakers game.
Until that first power play goal that the Sharks got in that game against the Knights, it all depended on that first goal. If they got one, I knew it's like, the Knights are
Yeah.
in trouble. Like you just knew that something bad was going to happen. But if they never scored, you kind of felt like the Knights were going to get through it okay.
You know something about hockey, and I'm gonna mix like 3 sport analogies
Go
here.
for it.
It's like Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers. If you ever see
God.
them on like they're losing, end of the game, 4th quarter drive,
But
and
it's
all
not
of a sudden,
over.
all of a sudden it's like it's 4th down, they throw the ball, and you see a flag, and you're
Yeah.
like, the game's over. They just won.
Yeah.
Like you see,
Yeah.
all of a sudden, game's over. You see one thing give way.
You just
They're not giving it up.
you bailed them out. It's too
Exactly.
late. They're gone. Yeah.
That San Jose game was
Yeah.
the exact same
Yep.
thing.
Yep.
But saying that,
So was that propping up Tom Brady or taking shots at Aaron Rodgers?
Both?
I've
Because I know how much you love to do that.
no response. But I think this NHL season is going to be a lot of fun. I think
is.
there are a lot of really, really interesting, fun
So-
storylines going into this year.
So how about two storylines right now? The third team in the Atlantic Division right now on 12 points is the Florida Panthers, signing Bob Brovsky. He's made a huge difference for that team. And then the one I'm really surprised about is in the West, leading the Pacific Division right now. Actually, best team in the West is the Edmonton Oilers. Bottom feeders all year, and now they're best in the West.
Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid are a killer duo
They're
for the
amazing.
Edmonton Oilers. you can see those two in the
No,
in the
I
corner.
know a little hockey. I just don't know players,
So
That's fair. They have weird names.
Yeah.
So
Leon
how
Draisaitl.
about one of the trades that happened in the offseason? Mike Smith from the Calgary Flames, goaltender for the Flames,
Yep.
for who did they trade? They gave James Neal. Sorry, they gave James Neal to Edmonton
for Milan Lucic?
For Milan Lucic. Who got the better end of that deal?
James Neal has what? I think 8 goals,
I
8 or
believe
9 goals
something
in the
like that, yeah.
season so far. He had a 4-goal performance a few nights ago.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's
He's been
insane.
kicking ass.
How can you even make that trade? I don't know where the
Because
4 goals.
So I went to opening
Per
night.
night.
I went to
That's fucking
opening
insane.
night
Yeah.
for the Avalanche, and it was Avalanche Flames.
Avalanche Flames? Yeah.
It was one of the funniest experiences ever because we're sitting next to. I went with a friend of mine,
Mm-hmm.
and we're sitting next to a Calgary fan. And this Calgary fan's like, "Why the hell did we trade for Lucic?" And he's like watching him skate out there. He's like, he doesn't even move his legs. He reaches a top speed of turtle.
That's
I was
good.
like, this is the best analogy. And then like 2 nights later, James Neal scores 4 goals in
He
a
goes
game.
off.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, and it was probably one of the funniest things. I
Yeah.
kept thinking back to this one Colorado guy, one Calgary fan living in
Yeah.
Colorado, and he's like, we traded for fucking Lucic, right? That's great.
I've only started learning hockey because I've been playing NHL like 20 or something.
It's fun.
Yeah, it's really fun.
It's addicting. It's a problem. So
You know what? We're gonna shift from a little bit of hockey. So you're a Tampa Bay fan.
I am huge Tampa Bay Lightning fan.
I'm a huge Colorado Avalanche fan. Of all the Boston teams, I fucking hate the Bruins.
Hey,
Aside
you and
from-
me both.
Yeah, it's okay. Tristan, who's your team? Avs?
Yeah. Or the Detroit Red Wings.
That's an incredible combination.
Wow.
I gotta
I
be
know.
honest with you.
I'm telling you, it's
Wow.
yeah. It's a
So
really
I grew up. My dad.
big scale right there.
My dad is a huge Red Wings fan. I mean, he grew up in the Detroit area, and it was like the worst crime you could commit was cheering for the Avalanche at any point for whatever
know.
reason.
I know.
And so moving out here, it's been like a challenge because it's like I kind of want to cheer for the home team, but at the same time, I can't not cheer for the Red Wings. So it's a weird
Yeah.
like blend of rivalries here.
Yep.
That's fair. I mean, 10 years ago, you couldn't be in Colorado rooting for
No.
a Red Wing.
No.
You'd be like, no, it's
You
sacrilege.
couldn't even wear a red shirt in
Sacrilege.
Colorado.
And people, yeah, it's like that if you cheer for the Dodgers here, you know.
Either the Dodgers or the Patriots. Yeah.
I feel like that mindset is changing though in terms of like the Dodgers because of all the population shift. You know, we have a lot of Southern Californians living in Colorado now.
It's weird. I feel like that sparks rivalries more, and this can
It
be
almost
attributed to any
does.
sports. Like when you have people here to hate.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if I have a Dodgers jersey at home, I wore it a couple weeks back.
I always pick on him. It's fine.
It's fair. I wore that Dodgers jersey. I'll come in, the entire office would be like, "Fucking Dodgers, you're a loser." Like Jesus,
And then I see the name on the back. I'm like, okay, it's fine.
it's Kershaw.
Yeah, it's fine.
I have a Brooklyn Dodgers cap, and it's like one of my favorite hats that I have.
Exactly. I mean,
The history is
Yeah.
so much fun with that team.
Okay.
I loved the Red Sox Dodgers World Series a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Just because of the history between the
Yeah.
two teams, and
That I agree.
I hate Boston more than LA, so I
Same.
was
Okay,
I was
same.
hardcore LA on that series.
I'm sorry. I'm still really salty at Boston. I am so sorry. I'm still really
There's
salty.
not a single Boston team I like.
2007
So, sorry,
really, really hurt my heart. I'm just gonna say, it still hurts.
4-0.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
still hurts.
Yeah.
Whew, wow, off the rails.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Welcome
So
back.
okay, I'm gonna give you. Okay, we're gonna have like one little concluding topic.
Okay.
Video
Cricket.
games,
Sports.
sports video games,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I love them.
or sports video games.
What?
Yeah, you get one of those two choices. Go.
I love sports video games.
I think we should talk about sports video games.
Yeah.
I think Brendan.
Wow.
he's gonna go on a tangent about 2K.
I'll go off a tangent about 2K.
I'll go off on a tangent about.
I don't
2K.
play 2K, so.
Hey, the only good thing about 2K is they actually made it inclusive to women.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I like the WNBA.
That's
I
the-
played like 2
That's
games.
the only good part about the new 2K.
Dude, I love doing layups. It's so much fun.
wow.
That feels like a burn.
That feels like a
was,
shot.
That was really harsh. I meant that as a joke, but I have a lot of fun playing it. I play
He,
WNBA
he does
teams.
own a Super jersey, right?
I do own a
Yeah.
Super jersey.
You should really see like the
Oh.
usual twinkle she has in her eye. It went away as soon as you
Yeah.
said that.
Just so everybody's aware, she's
ready to
dressed as
jump through that
Rosie the
window.
Riveter today. She's dressed as Rosie the
Feminine.
Riveter today.
Yeah, no, yeah.
And I just went out and just shot down her dreams. I'm sorry.
No. You want to get dunked on by like
continue
some of the
on.
biggest stars for the WNBA? How scary would that be?
I don't want to get dunked on by anybody.
Exactly. How scary would that be?
I don't care if it's LeBron James or Brianna Stewart. If I see one running at me, I'm leaving.
I don't know. I think you can swat LeBron. LeBron happens to be a flop, you know?
LeBron ain't got shit.
Facts.
He's a bust.
Facts.
You hear that, LeBron? Go after him.
Okay, so what sports
even know what we're talking
what
about.
sports video game do you guys remember most fondly as a child? Today, like the thing that holds a spot in your mind is like the best.
Let's
I-
start with Brendan.
NASCAR 07, actually. EA
Okay.
Sports NASCAR 07. I played that thing, at least for 4 years straight. Like, that was the best game and, like, the only game I played. I probably logged over, like, I don't know,
Too many hours.
months of, like, playtime on that game.
Really?
Yeah.
NASCAR.
Yeah, NASCAR. I was a huge NASCAR fan when I was a
I
kid.
guess you were born in
And
Florida.
we're
That
going
makes
into
sense.
the left turn and the only right turn of the track.
Oh, my God. She's a hater. She's a hater.
I've been to a few NASCAR races in the past. I've actually been to a few NASCAR races.
Yeah.
I think they're really fun.
They're a lot of fun. I'm not into it as much. Jeff Gordon was my guy, and he retired several
Me
years
too.
ago. And I
Wait.
just, yeah.
Fun fact, I actually have a NASCAR racer in my family. Like, he actually drives for NASCAR.
Really, who?
Yeah, it's my dad's friend, but he was witness me, like, being born and all that. I just don't remember the name off the top of my head. I'm not making this shit up, but, like...
I think you're making it up. I got to be honest with you.
No, I'm not. I'll prove.
Nice.
I'll bring in the picture.
Okay.
I'll bring in a
All right.
picture.
All right.
But
Well,
yeah, so big NASCAR fans. NASCAR 07, and then FIFA now. It's totally FIFA.
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 Man,
Huh.
I have friends that like solely play FIFA.
I don't play that stupid, like, what do they
Ultimate
call
Team.
Ultimate Team? That's just
No,
terrible.
FIFA
way to
and
play
it's a
Ultimate
money
Team is
grab. It's a
terrible.
money
No,
grab.
it's a money grab. But
But-
I play, like, the Play Now and Champions
To
League
be
all
honest,
the time.
FIFA is one of the hardest sports games out there to play.
I mean,
I love it,
every
though.
single sports game. I have not played a single sports game. It can be 2K, it can be Madden, it can be NHL, it can be FIFA. They all have the same little thing. Every single year, there's one meta. No matter what you do, it's if for FIFA, I can't remember if it's this year or a few years back. It was literally just pass, back and forth, and the defenders can't do anything, and you're just
Yeah.
kind of like, well, this is great, but with Madden, it's like, oh, let me run this bullshit play. Let me do this. There is not a single sports game
There-
I've seen that has no game or no meta or no like glitchy bullshit plays.
So NHL, I know we're talking about video games, but NHL 09 on the PlayStation 3, I played that quite a bit too. There was that same thing I found out. I made like my brother hate me for years because of this. But if you would like take the puck full speed, you carry the puck into the zone, you go down the wall behind the net, wrap around. Every single time you wrap around going full speed, score every time. I would
What?
beat him like 11-2 consistently because I would wrap around, and I wouldn't let him do it because I knew that it worked. But the goalie could never stop it ever. So
I
but
think that
wraparounds
actually
don't work
happens
anymore.
in like NHL 19.
Does
I
it?
feel like it. That's yeah.
I don't know. I haven't played.
And off the and off the deflection too.
Huffster, what's your fond video game?
Pets, Cats 2.
Nintendo
I'm a
dogs.
Plants vs Zombies guy.
NBA Jam.
Ooh.
Oh. Why do we
yeah.
all do that?
Oh, we all have fond memories of playing NBA Jam.
NBA Jam, and I'll say the early NBA 2Ks because those were actually pretty good.
Up to 2K19, he stops.
up to 2K19, then 2K21, we'll see. But NBA Jam and then the early NBA 2Ks because that's when they actually cared.
Do you have any fond memories, like playing against other people and just like abusing something?
Made a lot of my uncles cry.
Okay. All right.
That's pretty fucking.
Made a lot of my uncles cry. It was fun.
Wow, you have different
Who's
memories.
your team of choice?
Back then,
You think like early? You think what? Lakers, Kobe, Shaq.
He's going to be like Boston.
I would say, well, yeah, definitely back then. I would say the early Kobe Shaq Lakers.
Ooh.
Yep, good team.
So number 8 Kobe.
Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett.
Told you.
That's true.
I called it.
Little bit. Vince Carter, Toronto.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Actually, Vince Carter, Tracy McGrady, Toronto.
I forgot that happened.
See, I remember using Ben Wallace and just swatting people's shit.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Speaking of Vince Carter, this is going to be his last season.
Unfortunately.
Okay, well, overdue, to be
Now
honest.
you're going to make me cry, okay?
This is going to be his
overdue.
last season.
He almost baptized Cat last season.
I know it was fun to watch. I respect that because I think he's going to be remembered more for what he did besides the dunk contest.
Okay, but iconic dunk contest moment.
Iconic dunk contest, no doubt, no question.
Is that 2000?
Fun fact: him and Tracy McGrady, they're actually cousins. But
It runs in the family.
it does.
Interesting.
But I think, and that's why I think people who grew up watching that dunk contest and him in Toronto will actually always respect him as a player versus fake number 23 who never did a dunk contest ever.
Shade.
Wow.
But he wants to be one of the grades. But you know,
You must be talking about Michael Jordan.
No, he's
Michael
one.
Jordan 23.
No.
He won too, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
All right. Well, T, you're the last to go. What's your fond sport game memories? Any history behind it?
And who'd you piss off in the process when you won?
Mine's gotta
Yeah.
be the old 2K and MLB The Show when it used to be on the
The
Xbox.
show, yeah.
When it used to be on the Xbox, so when it moved over just to PlayStation, I was kind of really sad. But in 2K, I think my
PlayStation's
fondest
better, though, so.
yeah, I think in 2K
Facts.
my fondest memory is when I would bring over like my basketball teams, like my actual team in high school or middle school, whatever it was, and we would like play, and I would always kick ass in that, and it was kind of funny because they were like, "You can't do this in real life," and I was like, "Yeah, but I could play better 2K than you can, so suck it."
Isn't that always the excuse when like you beat somebody in a video game? It's
You
like
can-
that's not realistic,
You
or
can't
that's
do it
not
in
how
real
you
life.
play
I'm
it
like,
in real life.
I'm like, I'm sorry, I know all the combos to break your ankles over here. Like, you just got nothing on me. I've put too many hours in this game.
Oh, I remember those good old days. I used to do that with 2K. I played basketball for a little bit. I did soccer for a little bit. Played FIFA, baseball. You know, that's the most fun part is when you can connect with video games. But my one game that I had was 2K's form of the MLB. MLB The Bigs 2.
Oh,
Okay, that
wow.
was-
I forgot about that.
Yeah. I was Googling him like, oh my God, The Bigs
That was
2.
PlayStation only, right? Or no?
This was, I think it was Xbox and PlayStation.
Yeah, okay.
Because it was 2K.
Yeah.
But I played this. They had this mode that, like, if you essentially build momentum and you build up your meter, and if you build your meter all the way up to the top, you activate it, and if you make contact with the next ball, it's a home run, or it automatically loads the bases for a grand
like,
slam.
okay.
It was so stupid easy. It was like arcade fun. But just like NBA Jam, just like those old games, it's arcade fun.
Yeah.
I don't care about realism when I can hit fucking home runs. You know?
Yeah, for real. That's how it was in the show. Like that.
Oh,
It's just like
they're so much fun.
low hanging fastball, boom, it was out every
Right.
single time.
I played the show career mode a couple years ago. I don't remember which version it was, but I think I finished the season with 250 home runs or something
Oh
like
my
that.
God.
Like,
That's how easy they
yeah,
made that.
like that game was piece of cake.
Okay, I love I play almost every single sports game. Like I'll buy all of them every single year, like an
Okay.
idiot.
Have you played RBI the show? RBI baseball.
I have
guess?
actually played RBI the show.
Freaking sucks. RBI
it's
baseball
horrible.
sucks.
It's horrible when you can
Well,
play
they're not
the
going to
show.
sponsor us anymore. So.
She's
God, the
gone
podcast
on
is
several
screwed.
tangents about this.
Dude, there's no action in the game whatsoever. It's literally like Wii baseball, but with a figure that actually looks like the player.
Don't diss Wii Baseball. Don't diss Wii
Baseball
Baseball.
was the shit.
It was, okay? Let's not diss Wii Baseball.
Okay, we're not going to diss Wii baseball. We'll just diss the Wii.
Don't make fun of the Wii. Do
Wii
you
Fit
remember
was
playing
my
like
jam,
the thing?
okay.
If you did fencing, all you
Yeah.
were like,
Oh my God! All
Or
I
the
did was
boxing.
fencing. I know.
Or you did the boxing, you're like.
all you did is swinging your arms like a fucking idiot.
Or for
Let me
baseball.
flail.
Or like for
My-
tennis,
my-
you're just.
My brother he beat me every single time. Every single time that we played Wii boxing, I could not beat him in Wii boxing, and it was stupid because that was all he did. It was like fling his arms.
Wii bowling
around.
is my favorite because I always mistakenly always would toss the ball behind me and see them like jump and go,
They go,
whoa.
"Ah!"
Yeah, that's also another fond memory.
That was so much fun.
It's Wii
I
Family
love
Bowling.
the Wii Sports.
I used
Wii
to have Wii
Sports.
Family Bowling, so that was like our
Yeah.
Thursday night pizza night
Same.
with Wii Family
Same.
Bowling.
We used to do that with
Iconic.
the dancing games. What was it called? Just
Dance?
Just-
I
yeah.
used to play
Yeah.
Just Dance with my family. Every single year, one of my sister's gifts would be Just Dance for the Xbox, and we play with Kinect. And it's an every year type of franchise. Every year it came out, Christmas, we'd see the package, everyone would look at it, and we'd play it for one day. And we would
And it
never play it
goes
again.
away.
I gotta be honest, Brady. I think you need to bring in Just Dance for us so that we can have like an office competition.
Dude, I gotta find I'll bring my fucking Kinect. I'll find it.
Yeah, can
Production
you
night. Let's just
Let's
dance it
just
up.
dance. Just dance.
Just Dance
Yeah.
and Wii Sports.
Oh, I'm so down. Well, do you guys have any concluding thoughts? Any?
Yeah, my brother never plays me in sports anymore at all.
Yeah, I'm really excited about Brady doing weather for the Met Report.
Yeah, the Met Report. MyMetMedia.com.
I'm a weather boy.
Campus Channel 20.
Check out his sports
Comcast
segment.
Channel
He'll
58.
be posting it. You know, you gotta check him out.
Wow, you
Check
guys
it
are
out.
just getting me
Plug,
all
plug, plug.
You're
Plug,
plugging
plug,
me on my own show.
Plug out how Brady plugs me by writing features for me. I mean, I write features for him, but then he makes me sound really smart.
I got you.
Yeah.
It's my job. I'm an editor. It's not my job to write the story for you. It's just to make you sound like you wrote it somebody else.
It sounds like you're saying that we have a friend in you, Brady.
It sounds like you've got a friend in me. And to all my viewers, all the people, all the 7 people
Why is
that
he
end
doing
up
the
watching
voice?
this, me included, I had a great time.
So did I. Thank you.
Tristan, Brendan,
Yeah.
other Brendan. It was fun. It was an experience. And go check out What the Flag. I'm Derek Brecken. And we're going to talk about some
Wait,
flags.
can I plug my show?
Yes, you
Go
can.
check out On Deck. Here you go.
With
Where-
Yekta
where?
Eskandari.
Where?
No, it's not just with Yekta Eskandari. She's just been the only person that's available.
Where can
on
we check it out?
MyMetMedia.com and on my YouTube channel. So,
Oh, where can we check Mr. Huff's podcast out?
MyMetMedia.com.
And I just took that.
Where can we check your podcast out?
SoundCloud.
No,
Okay.
no, not gonna happen.
Apple Podcasts?
Hell no.
Whoa.
Spotify?
How did I?
Eventually, yes.
Big boy moves up in here.
Eventually, yes. I'm talking to Rowan about trying to do that.
Let's go.
Anyway, mymetmedia.com, off the dribble.
And then Mr. Huff.
Min Chef.
MyMetMedia.com.
That's Mr. Huff.
Mr. Mensch.
I'm insulted that you looked at him right when you said my name.
You're like,
You can see all of our
Oh.
content, all of our Met TV content on Campus Channel 20,
Oh, yeah.
Comcast Channel 58, and of course, as always, como siempre, my Met Media.
All right.
You're-
Also, on that
you're
roundup.
just
Can I get one thing from everybody right
Yeah.
quick?
What's that?
you're just trying to get your legs under you right now, aren't you?
Can I get on a 3,
Oh no.
you've got a friend in me.
Oh,
Okay, ready?
God.
oh my
One.
God.
2.
2, 3.
You've
got a friend in me.
You've got